All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Cynthia, and today I'm going to be talking about how to create motivation to keep going on your healing journey. So, if you're watching this live, please say hello. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag Gaia's Myths. Like I said, my name is Cynthia. I am an intuitive healer, and I really focus on combining physical and energetic methods of healing so that people can heal their body naturally. I really truly believe that we need both physical and energetic healing combined to get the result we're looking for. So, to start off with, I want to tell you my story when I was a child because I had a lot of health problems as a child. And I can sort of link it back to one key moment in time. And it's a funny, not funny kind of story. I was probably about 5 years old, and we lived on a farm. We had a couple of pigs and some lambs, and chickens, and like one cow and a horse that kept running away. And I really, really loved living on the farm. And it was a very healing place, it felt like to me. And for whatever reason, my parents were having some work done on the driveway, and there was a giant pile of tar that was probably, I would say, 2 to 3 times the size of me. Um, I was small, so maybe it was like 8 feet tall or something like that. And I was small, so maybe it was only 4 feet tall, and it just looked really big. I don't know, but I remember walking down the driveway with my grandpa, who was my favorite person in the whole world, and talking about this pile of tar. And he said, tar is really good for your teeth. If you chew on it, it'll make your teeth strong and white. And so I thought, well, that's interesting. Like, I didn't think we were supposed to eat tar, but maybe I'll try it. So we both pick up a piece of tar and we chew on it. And it's like a hard piece of bubble gum. Like, it's hard when you first put it in your mouth. And then when you start chewing on it, it just gets a little bit softer. And it didn't, you would think like, oh, tar would taste disgusting, but it didn't really taste that bad to me. So I just kept chewing on it. If it had tasted disgusting, I think I would have spit it out and been like, that's gross, Grandpa. What are you talking about? But it just tasted like nothing really. And it just got chewier and chewier as I kept chewing it. And I honestly don't know how many times I did this or like how long I chewed it for. But what I will say is that when I started having severe health issues, severe food allergies in like 2011 timeframe, I finally found out that I was allergic to petroleum products. And it took me about a year to figure out what I was allergic to. And it turns out yellow dye number 5 was the thing in my food that I was eating, um, that was creating all the problems. And then I also had a memory foam mattress that was creating some problems for me. And so just petroleum products is what I realized was the problem. What I realized was the problem. So it didn't even occur, like I never even thought of that tar story. Like it was like hidden in the back of my mind. I didn't remember it. And then like just doing more and more research about petroleum, one day I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I ate petroleum as a kid. Like I'm pretty sure I did. And I've actually shared this online before. This is not the first time I've told this story, but maybe the first time I've told it in this way. Um, and I've met other people who ate tar when they were younger. And it just seems crazy to me. Like, who would actually tell their children to eat tar? But, my grandpa was old school and they did things back in the day that we would never do today because they didn't know any better. And he thought it was good for your teeth. So he told me to eat tar. So, anyways, that's the story of how I think where a lot of my health problems stemmed from as a kid. I was highly allergic to mold. I had asthma all the time. I had tonsillitis all the time, bronchitis all the time. Like I was just constantly sick. Um, and then anytime I would get near mold, I would have like really bad asthma attacks just from being just from breathing in the mold. So I had a lot of health issues growing up, and they seemed to go away for a little while. And then I ended up living in a home that had a bunch of mold. And so all this is just to tell you that when you have dealt with health problems the majority of your life, you get tired and you lose the motivation to reach for health because it's like getting beat down over and over and over again. There's always something wrong with you. You get well and you feel really great for a couple of months, and then something new happens. And then you're like, oh my gosh, not again. I can't deal with this again. How do I get the motivation to get back on the cleansing journey? How do I find the motivation to start eating healthy again? I thought I was out of the woods. I thought I was good. Um, and then, you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you there's nothing wrong with you. Oh, we've done some tests and you look healthy. We don't think anything's wrong with you. You're fine. And it's just really easy to lose the motivation that you need to keep going on your healing journey. And especially if you're at the point where you're so sick that you've turned to medical medium and you're really working on your healing journey by using his protocols, because they're very strict protocols and it can be really hard to stick to them. So, what I will say is, well, first of all, let me ask, how many times would you say that you've given up on your healing journey? I would say for me, maybe 15. It's just this cycle of in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm much more steady now than I was in the past before I saw a lot of progress. Um, but now that I know what works, it's kind of easy to get back into it. But before you know it works, you really, really need to see some progress. And most people don't understand how to see progress when it's in the healing realm. If you're trying to lose weight, you can get on a scale, you can look in the mirror. Um, it's easier to see progress for that sort of thing. You could take your measurements of your body. It's easier to see when the numbers on the scale go down, or when your body looks thinner when you're looking in the mirror, or when the number of your measurement goes down for the size of your waist or whatever. It's easier to see the progress. When you're trying to heal something inside your body, that's like neurological fatigue or chronic fatigue, you tend to lose track of how you feel on a daily basis. It all starts kind of blending together. And you're like, I had a really bad day last week, but I don't remember what day that was. And I don't remember how long it lasted. It could have been 2 days. Maybe it was 3 days. I don't know. Um, so what I recommend is tracking your progress. And for some of us, like for me, I have an outward sign in the dark circles under my eyes. When my liver needs help, when my liver's like, okay, it's time for another cleanse, I will get really dark circles under my eyes that have absolutely nothing to do with how much sleep I've had. Now, they get darker if I don't have enough sleep, but they're dark all the time, no matter how much sleep I have. And it's based on my liver. The skin underneath your eyes is really, really thin, and it's the color of your thick toxic blood that's kind of showing through that makes it dark. So for me, I have that outward sign. So I could take photos as a way to show my progress. I could take photos once a week. I could take photos every other day, every day. Um, for that sort of thing, I would say once a day, because it's kind of hard. Every day is a little bit different. Uh, but it would be really cool to see the progress of, okay, I'm cleansing, even if you did just a 9-day cleanse, and then you took progress photos of day 1 through 9, so that you could see how the circles were doing on your face. And 9 days is kind of short, because your body's going to go through ups and downs as you go, because it's the first 3 days you're sort of preparing to cleanse. And then it's the last 3 days where you're going to really flush stuff out. And so you are bringing stuff, your liver is bringing stuff out of storage and preparing to release it. So that could affect the circles. So if you're going to do that kind of thing, I would recommend like a 30-day photo progress. That way you could see a little bit more time, because the 9 days is a short time, and you might see it get worse before it gets better because it's bringing things out in order to release. So that's just one idea. Another way to do it is to use an Excel spreadsheet. Literally just, think of the things that you want to track, like what was my energy like today? And then give yourself, for Monday, give yourself a number on a scale of 1 to 10. I want to track how much sleep I got. I want to track my mood, all those kinds of things. You can track all those, and you can do it for free, like in an Excel spreadsheet. But you can also use an app that I use, which is very cool, called the Bearable app. And it's like a little white polar bear, and it basically does everything that I just said, only it's much more sophisticated. You can track your mood, you can track your digestion, you can track everything you eat, you can track all your supplements, you can track all your activities for the day, like if you walked, how long you walked for, if you did something like I do karate or line dancing, you can track all that kind of stuff. So it's very sophisticated, but it does cost money. So if you're not into paying for apps, then stick with an Excel spreadsheet, and it'll be really great for tracking. But if you're willing to pay for an app just to make your life a little bit easier for tracking, you can really use the Bearable app, not only to track your stuff, but they have insights where they'll help show you what things change based on what activities you did or what you ate. And it's a little bit overwhelming to begin with because there's so many options in there, but I highly recommend that app. The other thing that you can do, which I do every day anyway, but not generally as a terms of tracking my health, but you can journal every day, just like literally write down in a book how you're feeling today, what your digestion is like. They have things called food, mood, poop journals where you track just that, what you ate, what your mood was like, and what your digestion was like for the day. And you can order it on Amazon. I have a particular one that I use that I really like. But since I got the Bearable app, I've stopped I've stopped using that because I can track all that stuff in there. But you could literally just write it in a notebook, just a blank notebook every day. I also have another app which is called Gratitude, and I personally record my gratitude every single day, so I don't use that app for tracking my health, but you totally could. It's just like a journal, only it's on your phone, and it goes everywhere with you, and it gets backed up so it can never be lost. I really love it. I literally write in it every single day. I'm on like day 1810 in a row. So years and years and years I've been doing it, and I really love it. So highly recommend that app as well. So I'd like to know, is there anything that you might recommend for tracking your progress? Is there anything that you use, like any special apps that you have that we could share with the community, just to help others out? If there's something that I didn't mention, there's an app you know of, please feel free to put it in the comments and share. And let me know if you're tracking your progress or not, or if you've tried it and it's been difficult. I'd love to hear how tracking goes for you. But I really think that if you're tracking and you see the progress that your body is making, it's going to give you a lot of motivation to keep going. It really will. And it's also being able to like write everything down and sort of like check it off, like I did this today, gives you a little bit of hit of dopamine, which will help also provide you with motivation and help you keep going. So that's my talk for tonight. What I'm going to do now is do a card pull for those that might see this on the replay. Let me just make sure I don't have any comments. I don't see any right now. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so I am going to just pull a card I'm going to pull 3 cards. The first one is going to be for the body, and the second one is going to be for the mind, and the third one is going to be for the spirit. So This is how I do my uh, health readings when I do psychic fairs. Very same. It's a little bit different than how I do intuitive health readings. Those I don't use the cards for typically. It's more of a I connect to your energy and then we do some clearing and then we talk about things that you can do to um, basically embody the new health that we've created in your body. All right. So the first card for body is connection. So this card is really talking about, particularly because I pulled it in relation to body, is talking about learning to connect with our body, learning to listen to what our body is asking for. Now, I pull cards from my own body every single day to figure out like what do I need today? How can I support my body today? How can I create greater health today? So, I have a really good connection with my body. And I've also been meditating a really long time. And so I spend a lot of time going inside and sort of scanning my own body and feeling how it feels from head to toe. And so anytime I have like a little pain here or pain there, I can feel it. And then I know basically like what it's tied to. And then I can do some work around it. And sometimes it's energetic work that I do. And sometimes it's like, oh, I need to go make my celery juice. So it really depends on the day and what I'm feeling. So that's for the body, and this is for the mind, joy. I love this card. And I really love that joy came up because I have been working on for myself, my own personal life, bringing more fun and joy into my life because I work an awful lot. I have a full-time job and four businesses, and I'm always doing something. I don't rest very often. I Usually the highlight of my day is when I go lay in my hammock and just look at the trees in the backyard. I have acreage and I've got a lot of oak trees and it's a pretty beautiful view that I have. And so that's like on an everyday basis, that's my highlight, hanging out in my hammock, enjoying my trees. So bring more joy into your life and particularly to your mind. So think about things that are joyful. I actually have a list that I've created of joyful experiences that I want to have. And there's everything from laying in my hammock to taking a European vacation with my husband and kids, right? So there's quite a spectrum. But all the things that I want to live that are going to bring me fun and joy, I have this list. And so I just, whenever I'm like, oh, I need more fun today, then I can either look at that list and see if there's anything on that list that I can do today. Or what I often do for more joy is I actually meditate and I just ask myself, like, what sounds like fun today? Like, what could I do that's fun? And almost always I get an answer right away. So I I think we all need more fun and more joy in our lives. Okay, this is for our spirit and its acceptance. So that's an interesting one under spirit. Um, I would say this is more about accepting where we're at on our healing journey and as it relates to our connection with our higher self. Our higher self is constantly giving us information about how to make our lives better, how to be more healthy, how to be more successful, how to get the best out of life, how to have more fun, how to have more joy. Our inner being is always giving us that information, but we're not always listening. And this is about accepting where you're at with that. Like, it's okay if you don't hear everything that your inner being or source or God or whatever you think of as that higher thing that's helping to guide you, whatever you call that, whatever you think that is. If you don't feel as connected to it as you think you should, give yourself the acceptance of knowing that you're changing every day, you're getting better every day, you're becoming more connected every day, and just accept where you're at. So those are our three cards: connection, to your body, doing a scan every morning of like, where am I at today? What do I feel in my body? More joy for our mind. Make a list of all the fun and joyful things that you want to experience and then try to live them, or ask your spirit what feels like fun today. And acceptance of where we're at with our connection to our spirit today. So that is it. If you feel like you need a guide on your healing journey, there are two ways that I can help you. One, I offer 60-minute intuitive health readings. Like I said, I don't use the cards typically for that unless you really wanted me to, but generally I connect to your energy. I find the number one thing that is blocking your healing, and then I clear it energetically. And then when we're done clearing it, we'll talk about how to clear it physically. And if you have questions after that, then you can ask them and I will answer them. So, and like I said, it's a 60-minute session. It's 222. You can message me if you want to book one. I have a Calendly link that I can send you, and you can just pick your best time. And yeah. Oh, and I also do one-on-one coaching. So if you're like, I just really need help getting through my first cleanse, or I've done 6 cleanses and I feel like I'm not moving the needle anymore. What's going wrong? Then I can work with you and we can go through the 5 steps that I use to heal everything from severe food allergies to fibroids to neurological and chronic fatigue. So, and I have a guide that I wrote specifically for these 5 steps, and it's free to you. If you want it, send me a message. I'm happy to share it with you. But the basic 5 steps are learning how to listen to your body and your intuition. That's number one. It is the most important. Number two is removing the environmental toxins. So everything from your products to the food that you put in your mouth to like chemicals that are being sprayed maybe outside or near your home, um, cosmetics, shampoo, conditioner, like air, water, all those kinds of toxins. And then adjusting your diet. We add in healing foods first, and then we take away the no foods or the troublemaker foods after that. And then once you kind of got that down, then we can do a cleanse. Cleansing looks like a 9-day cleanse from the medical medium, or there's a 28-day cleanse, and there's several different kinds, and we can talk about which one would be the best for you, and I can help guide you through that, and I can support you through the cleanse as well. And then once we're done with that, then we'll start picking up some supplements. There are 4 key supplements that the medical medium recommends. It's zinc, B12, lemon balm, and vitamin C. Those are the main ones to just keep your immune system working at its best. And then depending on what kind of issues you're having, then I can recommend additional supplements for you, specifically for what you're going through. And I can also recommend specific foods for what you're dealing with. Everything that I teach and coach on is based on the medical medium protocols. So I will probably only ever recommend fruits, vegetables, wild foods, those kinds of things. It's totally okay if you eat meat. I still eat meat. I'm just careful about the kind of meat that I eat. Yeah, so that's about it. If you're interested in either of those 2 things, please reach out. I'm happy to help. Or if you just have questions and you need somebody who understands, I'm happy to answer your questions as well about those 2 things. And yeah, so subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you think that someone you know could find this video helpful, please share it with them. It really helps me help more people. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can so that I can help more people, basically. I have struggled with health pretty much my whole life, and it's sad to me how many people don't have this information. And so I really just want to do my best to get the information out there and help people heal. I also have an Instagram account called Gaia's Medicine, and it's Gaia's _medicine. So if you want to search for me and follow me on there, you'll see I post quite a bit there as well. And if you look back in the history, there's tons of videos and um, posts about all the things. So if you're new to the medical medium and you want to learn more about how to heal, or if you're just really interested in intuition and how to use your intuition for healing, I talk a lot about intuition because I think it's the thing that a lot of people in the medical medium community are missing. There are a lot of people who have done all the things, including the medical medium protocols, and either they're missing something or they're missing something. Either they're missing a piece of the protocol or they're missing something big, like the kind of water they're drinking or what's happening in their air that they don't realize. Those are the two big ones, air and water. Or they're not dealing with the energetic side of things because we have a lot of blocks to our healing and our energy because energy gets stuck in our body and when it's not flowing properly, things stop working properly. So that's why I talk so much about intuition because I think it's really important to deal with the energetic side of healing. And I want to help everyone, even the people who feel like they've tried everything. Because if you've tried everything and you're not feeling any better yet, there's something that you missed. And I've been doing this work a really long time, and I've had to search for the thing in many, many, many different places. And so I kind of know where to look. Like, and I'm also a psychic. So, the intuitive health reading is meant to help you find the one block to your healing. Like the number one, what's the biggest thing in the way right now? That's what we find. And then we clear it up. So that's it for me tonight. I'll just say good night and I'll see you guys next week. Remember that you are safe, you are loved, and you matter.